Welcome back.
Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel. It's your boy Troll, and in today's video, guys, we're gonna officially since tomorrow is the official release of the game, we're gonna officially release the updated tier list based on what we have discussed so far. I did a tier list some time ago, and well, I had a lot of comments from your end. There was a lot of points that you disagreed with me. But overall, some of the points I agreed on. And I think it's important to reflect those changes to make a refreshed tier list based on what we learned so far, what we used so far. So everyone that is joining us tomorrow on our King Arthur Legendaries adventure has a better understanding of what should be built and what should you try to get. There's a lot of heroes, there's a lot of relics, and not every hero is good in the same color. So that's why we're gonna make sure to describe every single hero in every single relic, because a hero in green might be completely shit in red, might be super good in blue, etc, etc. So it's worth to basically going through all those details, explaining every single color of every single hero, because it will change a lot. A specific hero will be used somewhere in blue, but not used at all in red or green. But again, we're gonna go through every single hero one by one with every single color. The video will be long. I'm not gonna try to skip, or I'm not gonna try to cut corners. So we're gonna explain why, where, who, etc, etc. So yeah, guys, if you're simply interested by the photo on how the tier list looks like without any further explanations, you can just jump to the end of the video, guys. Let's be honest, a lot of you just gonna come to see that. But if you're looking for a specific hero, you can see here, we're gonna go one by one from the top to the bottom. So if you're looking only for a specific hero, you can just skip to where I'm gonna talk about that specific hero. But without any further ado, let's jump into, well, pointing and tier listing heroes in King Arthur. Now, first of all, some memorable mentions, I guess, because we're gonna go through every single rare and legendary heroes, but I just want to mention some of the uncommon heroes, because I really truly believe the people are sleeping on them. First of all, we're gonna have Maul. Maul, if you check later on, his S3 in every single color basically applies defense down and also does some decent damage. Well, you're gonna tell me, okay, PvE is not ideal, but in PvP, to basically help you and allow you to go quickly through PvP in farming the arena, he is a very good champion, especially if you don't have Morgan, the blue weapon. But also, it will help you to clear some campaign stages, 3-star stages, by applying this defense down and basically allowing you to nuke some stages to basically get those 3 stars. So I'm gonna put him in A. Let's be honest, besides 3-starring some stages in the campaign and destroying PvP arena, there's not much you can do, right? So, to be quite honest, we're gonna also add a row below, and it's gonna be B, just to be more transparent. Yeah, that's basically it. Then we're gonna have Bebere. Bebere is very niche. Basically, you only gonna build him, and really not even necessary build him. But if you want to build a full mark team for the Red Dragon, you will need him as a healer and additional mark applier. But again, it's very niche, but he's being built. Okay, he's being built, and as an uncommon, it's very rare that we're building uncommon rares, so Bebere is definitely to be mentioned on the list. Then we're gonna go to Aolon. For me, Aolon, as an uncommon and as a free-to-play player, if you are, Aolon will be an amazing help for a lot of dungeons, especially for the Green Dragon and also for Tarask. He will decrease the attack bar of your enemies, which basically is all you need for those bosses. And you can also use him in the Forbidden Dungeon. At least we needed him so far. We will see with the reset of the Forbidden Dungeon if it's still the case, if it's still the same. But Aolon is a very good uncommon. I have built him, I have used him, And from what I saw, a lot of people actually did it. And the very last one uncommon that we're even gonna mention is Garett, which is very niche. You only gonna build him for Gorgos if you do not have a Merlin team, or if you don't have Isolde leveled up, or if you don't have Ain leveled up. So Garett is basically will enable you to farm Gorgos even stage 10. But again, the only reason you're gonna build him is for Gorgos and nothing else, and that's the honest truth and not only my opinion. But in terms of uncommons, before we jump into the rares, this is so far how does it look like. So the very first rare on this list is Garett. Now, personally for me, I think Garett, the only Garett you should build or consider to build at this stage in the game will be the green one. Basically, his green third spell has a 50% chance to bind, let's say bind all enemies for 2 turns, which is very, very strong in PvP. Not really in PvE. There is not a specific dungeon you're gonna use Garett, but there are some specific stages in the adventure that you want to build Garett. Hence why, if you have to build him, the green weapon is what you should aim for. Personally, I don't recommend building him in red or in blue. Now, yes, his damage can be quite good. We're talking about 270% damage on the S3. But is there better? Yes, there is better. Would you build something else that actually can be used in a dungeon? Probably yes. So Garett, I don't recommend to build the blue and red. Now, if you're gonna tell me I built him because I have him, because I don't have Vera, because I don't have this or this, it can work. Like if you build him 6-star, awaken, etc., put a good gear, the damage will be there. And as the game is right now, most probably it will work in a specific dungeon. But there's just better. So let's now go back. Let's go back. Let's now go to Isolde. Isolde is very niche, and basically, in my last year list, for me she was the best healer. But then I realized she was the best healer because I was using her in Gorgos, and then I was using Jillian everywhere else. So she will only be used in Gorgos. The only problem is Garett is way better early on because her dot removal will be only strong when you level up her skills. Because at the beginning she only gonna remove 1 dot. Skilled up she gonna remove 2 or even 3 if I'm not mistaken. So once she has those skill ups, she will be way better than Garett and she can easily replace Garett. But early on, Garett will be for sure better. And again, you will only build her for Gorgos as it is right now in the game. The next champion is Ralph. Ralph is a very interesting hero. One could say he might be broken on the paper, but how he works and the conditions to make him work and be broken, as we say it, are very hard to set up. And honestly, I would even consider those conditions and his passive basically. Well, if all the allies are dead, he has a 50% chance to basically play over and over and over 40 times, right? Again, you have to have specific chivalry, you have to have the passive level up, but basically you have a 50% chance to gain an action and attack all 3 enemies with a specific attack. On paper, that's great, but 1, why would you want to have your whole team dead? And 2, it's only 50% chance. So personally, I will put him maybe not tested. I truly believe it. Like, not a lot of people have built him. I saw him maybe once or twice in the arena, but like not fully built, not fully tested. So on paper, he could be amazing, but there's just so many conditions to meet to even make him like, I think it's gonna be more as a fun champion that could become broken if it works out how you want it. But again, I just want to put him in don't build because again, let's put him in on don't build. Why? Because this is an official game release. You're not gonna recommend to a new player to build Ralph, and let's be honest, you're not gonna put him in any dungeon or in any specific team. It's a fun hero, there is a lot of potential, he could be broken, but even then, most probably just PvP, and I just don't want to recommend people to even test him. Unless you're paid to win, go ahead, test him, but overall, I don't recommend to build him. Then we're gonna have Ban. I don't recommend to build Ban anymore, to be quite honest. The green one and the blue one, it's just not worth it. But the red one, I would still put him in A, or maybe as a free-to-play. Basically, Ban, the red Ban, still has the red weapon, which basically, on his S3, you have a 80% chance to reduce the target attack gauge by 30%. Which is great, right? It's more or less the same as Aolon, so Aolon will still kind of be better than Ban, but then Ban will just do more damage than Aolon, right? So, but again, the red Ban for you to, in order to defeat Tarask, because you might not have Jillian, you only might have Red Morgan. In order to defeat the equipment Green Dragon. I mean, the red Ban still has utility, right? So I'm not gonna put him in B because his way, like the utility is just better. But definitely, if you don't have his red weapon, don't build him. He comes in blue, and the blue one is just completely useless. Then we're gonna have Cormac. Cormac, I just want to put him in S. Every single color has a skill that will do insane amount of damage. The blue one, obviously, as we all know, has an insane AoE that makes just stupid damage. The red one, I think, has like a 400% attack ultimate damage. Same, the green one has also like 400, that's it, 400, and the red one has 326. Okay, so maybe the red one, we're gonna put him here, right? I think it's more... It's better to do it, yeah. And then obviously blue is way stronger because, yeah. I think that's quite fair. Yeah, Cormac in green, his ultimate, 400% damage of your attack. It hurts. It really, really hurts, right? It's basically what Ban was more or less able to do before the nerf. I would not be surprised if Cormac is going to be nerfed. And actually, I'm gonna put him B. Actually, do you want to even build him? Or do you want to build K red? Let's put him in B for now. I think... But is he stronger than Ban and red? Yeah, for sure he's better than Ban and red. Yeah. But then it's a different utility. I feel like the red one should be here. If you disagree, let me know, but I think K and red might be better. I mean, Cormac's damage is still great. Again, we're gonna addend, maybe I will do some changes, but as it is right now, Cormac in blue and green, very, very strong. In red, okay, let's put him in A, definitely A. I mean, 320% of damage, it's still good. Obviously, you're gonna have to level up a lot there, but it's still very good. Right? Yeah. Okay. Next. Then we're gonna have Oriens. To be quite honest, Oriens, same as Ralph, very specific niche hero based on counter attack that you don't really gonna use or build for a dungeon. Again, when doing this tier list, we need to understand what do you want to do or need to basically progress in your account, and it's to farm specific dungeons, to progress in the campaign. PvP, as good as it is, it's not the main purpose. So for me, Oriens is just, I don't see him in any specific team. You cannot really rely on counter-attack. PvP arena, maybe, I can see it happening. But as a rare champion in the current state of the game, I don't consider him valuable. Like, the same I gonna tell you later about Ayen or Ain. The counter-attack, as good as it sounds, first of all, it sounds great, but only for PvP. I just don't, like, there's just better, right? And do you actually want to build him to make something work that isn't really working? Like, do you really want to put all your resources, like, for example, in Oriens, when you have someone like Cormac? Like, at the end of the day, you want to do damage. You don't, like... Okay, the counter-attack, it's cool on paper, your whole team will counter-attack, or I don't know. I just feel that for all the investment, one, there's better, and it's just way, it's not worth it. Like, it's not, I'm not saying the champion is bad. It's just in the current state of the game, I don't think it's worth investing in Oriens. Then we're gonna go to Frederick. Frederick, I think I did the best healer review. For me, Frederick is not necessarily maybe the best healer in the game. I think we can all agree the biggest numbers will be coming from Turin. But he definitely, if you invest in him in and late game with his Chivalry 8, I think this might be the end game healer. Obviously, you have Julienne, it's gonna be still way better. But I see how Frederick might help us to basically go through clearing 3-starring Hell campaign. So he definitely gonna go into the 8 tier. All of his colors, besides the Frozen one. The Frozen one will go into B. Because the Frozen one, his A2 is a damage dealing spell who has a chance to steal buff. And basically Frederick is blue. And I guess the developers made it that way so you can use him on the dragon. Now the problem is, from my understanding, the steal buff is not working properly. I think, from my understanding, it only steals one, not all debuffs. And also, since you're gonna just bring him to steal the buff, you're not gonna have especially a healer. So I see how it should work. It's just on paper, it's not like that. Okay, but his other colors, late game, I can see how he's great. It's just that early game, he is not gonna be as good as Turin, because early game you're not gonna have C8. Early game you're not gonna have leveled up or your passive skills. So end game he will be better, even very niche. Again, I'm not gonna most probably use him in a lot of dungeons, but manually to 3-star some of the campaign stages. You might disagree with me, but that's how I see it. Next, we're gonna have Aolon. Do not build the red one. Do not build the blue one. Simply build the green one. Very niche. You only gonna need her for Aldri, and to be quite honest, nothing else. You might even use a different champion, which is Julius, but I just prefer Aolon. For me, I think Aolon is better than him, simply because, again, we're gonna get to it, but she will be an extra body in your team to take damage from Aldri. It is a 90% only disruption recovery instead of 100. Me personally, it doesn't feel that much. And again, I just prefer to build her, but she's not a guarantee hero. You might not ever get her. However, Julius, is it Julius? Oh my god. What's his name? Florentius, oh my god, Julius. But yeah, Florentius, basically you can buy him 100% in the Colosseum. Or no, in the clan. In the Colosseum. You can buy him for sure. You can buy him for sure, and Aolon you're actually gonna have to summon, right? So at the end of the day, still very niche. I would prefer her 100%, but if you never get her, you can always build Florentius. Next we're gonna go to Sara. In terms of healing and in terms of basically everything, Sara will be for me definitely S tier. You can use her in a lot of dungeons, the Red Dragon, the Green Dragon. No, not the Green Dragon. Actually, the Green Dragon as well. But again, she's an amazing healer. Actually, no. The red one, I don't... It's very... Is it niche or even... Yeah, like the red one is very niche. I could see her being used for Tarask. But actually, no, I will put her in A. Yeah, I will put her in A for sure. Like, because it's not about the damage, it's about what she does or brings to the table. The green one as well, actually, I'm gonna put her in A. For me, the blue one is the actual one that provides the best heals, debuffs your team, and then also kinda remove the debuffs from your allies, right? So that's how I see it. The blue Sara definitely S, and the other one's A. Yeah. Then we're gonna have K. For me, K is in green SSS. I think we all get her in green, and you should build her in green. I really don't like her in blue. I would not recommend to build her in blue. I just think there's way better. It's a waste of resources in blue. And then in terms of red, I also actually don't recommend to build her. Yeah, I think in terms of red, I don't see why would you want to build her. I don't think the damage is there. The green one is completely broken. We all gonna agree on that. But the blue and the red, I just don't see why or where would you ever actually want to use her. Because they're just like Cormac is 100% better in red than K. Yeah, that's without a single doubt. But the green K, build her. She gonna be an insane good hero for you early on. You're gonna get her for free. She does very, very good and consistent damage. It's very easy to build her. But yeah, I mean, the only problem is you're gonna tell me, okay, but Cormac in green does more damage than her. Yes, but it's way more difficult to make Cormac do this damage, and K will produce this damage straight on, etc. Now, late game, probably Cormac might go in front of her. But overall, if we take the whole duration life expectancy of a hero, till today, I'm still using K. So, personally, for me, that's how it looks like. Next, we're gonna have Bwin. Bwin is very niche. You're simply gonna use him, not even for Apolia. I don't think it's worth it. Bwin, the only reason why you build him, any color you want, I would suggest the color he comes in. Don't invest in any other relics. Bwin, all you want to do with him is his passive. It's the same as Guinevere. If you don't have Guinevere, you can simply build him, but you will have to level up his passive, and I think Chivalry as well to a certain point now. Or is it just his passive? No, it is C3, yeah. So C3 will basically grant abnormal status immunity to a random ally for 1 turn. Yeah. So if you don't have Guinevere, Bwin is an option to allow you and basically finish Chrome Crouch stage 10 and farm those legendary books for skill ups. But other than that, I don't think anywhere else you'll be able to use him. Then we're gonna go to Mr. Nicholas. I think Nicholas is the only champion no one will ever actually build to even test him. His skill sets, his skills, his passives, everything on paper is just shit. The damage, not there. Very complicated. Like, I see what they tried to do, like to be this kind of knight assassin, use stealth a lot, but it's just not worth it. You're not gonna use him anywhere. He's not worth it. There's way much better. The only reason you would build him, and all I recommend is to just push him to level 60, nothing else. You're gonna have to build him for the adventure, for a specific chest to obtain it, and that's it. You will never ever touch him again because he's just, he's not worth it. So limit whatever you need to spend on him and only spend if you really have to. Then we're gonna go to Anguish. Anguish, the only Anguish you actually want to build is the blue one. And again, it's very niche. To be quite honest, you're only gonna use him in Gorgos. His S2 kinda, especially in blue, would be amazing for the red dragon. But you don't really want to apply dots on the dragon. You want to go with damage and not dots. So Anguish, to be quite honest, you're simply gonna just build him for Gorgos and nothing else. And his red and green relics are just not worth it. The blue is way more than enough. The green one especially, don't even touch it. The red one, maybe a burn team for fun. But honestly, don't touch him. It's not worth it. You're gonna get him in blue. He comes in blue. You want to build him in blue for Gorgos and nothing else. You will most probably not use him anywhere else. If you're using him somewhere else, and if it works, good for you. But on paper, he's only being used on Gorgos. Then we go to Arthur. Personally, I would say that Arthur is it's gonna be around here somewhere. A in terms of green. And then the other ones, I don't recommend building him. In red, his damage is Cormac just has a better damage. In blue, he does no damage at all. It's just not worth it. His AoE is really bad. Since you're also gonna get him for free at the same time as K is just 100% better. Invest in K. She's better. Again, the damage percentage maybe early on. K is better, and then Arthur might be better. But overall, long time K. Way better. than Arthur. There's a lot of things that you now have to set up on Arthur in order to make him good. There's a lot of skill ups, a lot of passive chivalry, etc., etc. So personally for me, K Green is way better than King Arthur Green. Again, his damage is good, so obviously he gonna be an A. I will not say an S because Cormac's damage is just way higher. But yeah, but then the blue one and the red one, I really don't recommend building him. Then we're gonna go to Clementine. For me, Clementine, I know a lot of people disagree with me. I don't see Clementine as a good healer. It's not. For me, Clementine is a great support to reduce the attack bar, mostly. So a lot of people said, yeah, I use Clementine, has RS2, her heal is okay. I don't see it. Like for me, first of all, in terms of heal, there is just way better. Now, if you're using her to decrease the attack bar, yes, 100%. And she will be, for me, A. But for me, Sara is just overall a bit better than Clementine. Like that's for sure. Now they can all, like every single color of, I think we get her in red, and every single color can reduce the attack bar. Yes, you can do the spell too, and it will also reduce the attack bar, but it's only every second turn, and it's only 30%. And also, what you actually use Clementine for is for her glowing flames passive, which basically attacks all enemies, and you have a 100% chance to reduce their attack bar by 40. So let's say you're gonna use her S3, which is an attack. Well, I don't think it's, no, it has to be S3. So you have a 100% chance to trigger the future to come when you use S3, which basically means you're gonna, yeah, the fire one is better because you have 90% chance to reduce the attack bar by 50%, and then you reduce to all of enemies by another 40. And to be quite honest, a lot of people use her in Tarask, in the Forbidden Dungeon. Yeah, definitely. No, you know what? For me, this is just like that. Yeah. No, here. Yeah. For me, this is just like that. For me, Clementine Red, again, the main purpose of Clem for me is not her as a healer, it's her as a control support unit. In terms of healing, there's just way better. And then again, we have to look at where are you using her. Are you gonna be able to use her or want to use her at any stage 10? And besides Tarask in red and the green dragon in red, there's nothing else. And even the green dragon, or technically speaking Tarask, you're not using her for the heals. You don't want to get hit. You're using her for the attack bar manipulation. So for me, same as red, Sara, which is basically again disruption of the attack bar, etc., etc. Okay, actually, let's do it like that. There you go. For me, that's better. And then he's way better here. Yeah, that's it. I like it like that. Yeah, like that. I think that's quite sexy. Yeah. But yes, for me, Clementine is a support control unit rather than a healer. And end game, that's how you're gonna use her. Early game, there are just way better healers than her. So that's it for me. Then we're gonna have Boris, again, counter attack type of hero, specific team. Not worth it, don't build him. Might be very good, very niche, combined with Oriens and Ain, etc. Making like an infinite counter attack team. But overall, you're not gonna really use this champion to farm any boss or whatsoever. Even the campaign, I don't see it. It's just, for me, it's a waste of resources. If you disagree, okay. But I just think overall, long time resources investment, he's just not worth it. Then that's it in terms of rares. Actually, no. I confused her with Ain. But don't build. I'm not even gonna go into the details with this champion. I don't even know what's her name. Do not build her. Completely useless. Don't waste your time. I'm not gonna waste my air or my saliva on her either. Then we go to Rosie. Rosie Red, SSSSS, whatever you want. Best red damage dealer champion right now in the game. Her damage in red without any big investment is just incredible. Then we're gonna also have the blue one. The blue one is very niche. The blue one basically is bleed for Gorgos. Like, personally, for me, Rosie Blue is way better than Anguish, but you have to invest more into Rosie before she becomes better than Anguish. But late game, I completely ditched Anguish for Rosie because her C8, which is like extending the duration of debuffs of dots, and basically the amount of dots she applies is just insane. Like Anguish is just, I don't know, for me she's way better than Anguish, but since Anguish is, you have to just simply invest way less than him. Rosie just falls behind. But personally, I just only use Rosie now once I got her C8. For me, she's way better than Anguish C8, 100%. It's just, it makes Gorgos run so much easier. And then if you put them both together, at one point you just don't need healers. You just need to survive 2-3 turns. And there's just so many dots that the Gorgos dies. But again, very niche. The blue one, you won't really use her anywhere. And then the green one, don't build her. The green Rosie is not worth it. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, I don't see anywhere where you would want to use her. Why would you use her, to be quite honest? The blue one, Gorgos, the red one, your main damage dealer for any dungeon where you need her. And again, it's not even like you don't even need her in the red form, in the red relic, you don't even need to go against green bosses. Her damage on S3 is just huge. And then on top of that, you have 40% chance to do even more damage. So, yeah. Overall, Rosie right now, I think we can all agree that in the red form, if you're lucky enough to get her, I think, yeah, I think we have to go like that. Yeah, and then this here. Because, okay, yeah, I think this is way more fair than, yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it like that. Cormac Blue right now is completely broken. It's most probably gonna get nerfed. And then her in red, the damage on a single target, it's also just stupid right now. So yeah, that's it for Rosie for me. Then we're gonna have Ardouin. I know I'm gonna have a lot of comments hating me for it, but I really don't recommend building Ardouin at all. She's not a great healer. She does some decent damage. Okay, great, but you have just so much more better damage dealer than her. I never ever saw any single team with her as a damage dealer because again, they're just so much better. So, you know, it's mostly a case I've built her, I like her, but overall there is better. You're not gonna need to use her. There's better, okay? Like, you cannot argue with me that in terms of everything that we already have in SSA, she's just no. It's not worth it. It's not worth to build Ardouin, not as a healer, not as a damage dealer. It's just there's way better. Like the highest attack she will have is in green, and it's like around 300%, which is again nothing compared to Rosie, Cormac, Beidou, etc. It's just she's better. Like she's not better, so I don't recommend building her. If you have any other hero from the list above, just focus on those. And then we're gonna go to Turin. I think the first entry into not tested. I really think the red Turin might be somehow stupidly broken as ban before the nerf. Because her red S3 makes around 300% damage, I think. But then there's also extra damage per point of attack. And this is something similar ban also had. So red Turin to be tested. I don't think I saw it everywhere. Like when you read the skill, I truly believe there's something very easy to set up to make huge damage. But again, it's on paper, so we need to see. Then we're gonna go to Turin, the blue one, right? Yes, it's the blue one. For me, Turin blue one is the best healer right now as it is. Way better than Sara. For me, she's just better than Sara. She will make your team so much safer and stronger, and basically just heal so much. Now, yes, in terms of vigor, it's 3, but it's basically from 0 to 100 heal, right? And you just need to do it whenever you get hit with a big AoE attack, and then your whole team is fully healed up. So for me, Turin, especially you're gonna get her for free together with Luke, and if you build her, she's just great. Now the green one for me is a bit, yeah, it's basically same as Sara. I believe that Sara blue most broken, then the green one a little bit less, and then red one very niche but still very good and can be used in a lot of dungeons. And that's it from rares this time, right? Yes, okay. Then we're gonna go to legendaries. This will be very quick. So Morgan, completely broken, SS, you get her in red, you build her in red, and you're gonna use this champion from day 1 to day 1,023,000. The most broken one for me is the blue one. The green one is first of all pay to win, super pay to win. Like the price for the green weapon is just stupid. So overall, this is how you're gonna build them. Then we're gonna have, I don't want to butcher his name, Gawain. Yes, Gawain. So Gawain is one of the heroes I still do not have, unfortunately. However, there is one weapon that is really stupid. And it was, I think it was the fire one. Yeah, I think if you have the fire weapon, yeah, that's it. That's what it's the fire weapon. Yeah, 100%. If you have the fire weapon, from what I saw, his damage, AoE damage, can be very good, but nothing compared to Cormac. Cormac AoE damage is far superior from Gawain. Now, the only good thing or good part about Gawain, and that's why he gonna be very niche, is basically he got the passive, which is blessing. And if you don't, yeah, fire definitely is gonna be a, like, we can put him here. I'm comfortable putting him here. The blue one and the green one, I wouldn't say niche. Okay, we're gonna say niche because I don't, yeah, I think the red one, you have to get it. You get him in green. You can still build the green, but it's all about his passive, which will grant you blessing. And blessing basically gives you immune to abnormal status, which kinda helps you to defeat Chrome Crouch if you don't want to build Bwin and you don't have Guinevere. But besides the red one, I mean, let me know if you disagree. I just don't see a purpose for the other ones. And even the red one, again, Cormac, way better. I think Cormac has a higher damage than Godwin, like even on his S3. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then it has to be day. You know what? I'm gonna put him here. Definitely like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna put him like that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that's fair. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. So then we go to Guinevere. Obviously, as we know, there will be a change to her skills, or basically there will be a change to Guinevere, the legendary hero, with the official release. So we still have to see basically how we're gonna use her, where we're gonna use her, if we're gonna use her, if there are like changes, big changes to her skills. As it is right now, I am comfortable to say that she S tier. I wouldn't say S tier. We can put her in A tier. She will unlock you and make Chrome Crouch a joke. Like, honestly, she will make this dungeon a joke. Also, we get her in the wind weapon, and her wind weapon S2 is very, very strong. And then the blue one, definitely not build her. I think the blue one is garbage. The red one is kind of like the green one, but worse. So I will put her here. And again, you have to be lucky to even get her fire weapon because she comes in green. So I don't recommend building the red one. Like, if you have her, in terms of skills, she's worse than the green one. So it's really up to you. But again, the Guinevere is the only champion that might literally change in 24 hours. So let's see how that goes. Then we're gonna go to Lancelot. The blue one and the green one, I don't recommend building them. It's not even niche. It's ultra mega rare niche. You might use him once or twice, and you're still gonna have Anguish and Rosie Blue that are just way better than him. The red one, also very niche. So far, the only reason why we would even choose to use Lancelot in red, it's not even Gorgos, because Rosie and Anguish are just better. Why would you use him is there was a stage in Forbidden Dungeon where applying dots as a AoE was really strong. So that's why very niche. You're gonna tell me, oh, you have a perma-stun whatsoever, he's very good for PvP. No, he's not. Like, stop it. He's not. Like, he can get one-shotted very easily if you have Blue Morgan. like especially the red one. So no, very niche. You're gonna use him very rarely. And again, the forbidden dungeons will change tomorrow or in 24 hours. We might not even need him unless the forbidden stages remain the same. Then we're just gonna need him once or twice for specific stages, and that's it. Then we're gonna go to Lot. I think this is like the most controversial champion because he's very difficult to set up. He requires a lot of investment to basically become somehow very powerful because he needs his C8 to be brilliant. But I will say like that. The blue one for me right now is niche. Very specific stages when you want to freeze control the units. The red one definitely niche in terms of PvP. And the green one, I would just not build him. Again, this is a tier list. You need to understand how many dungeons you're gonna use him. How easy is it to basically level him up to obtain the best, results from him. And even though on paper he's interesting, he has interesting skills here and there. Besides Forbidden Dungeon, I never felt like I had the need to use him. The red one, first of all, you even have to get the red weapon because he comes in blue. The red one, I can see how he can become powerful in PvP, where you apply Oblivion as a AoE, and then if you have C8, you can just basically prolongate this buff every time you use debuff every time you use a skill. So again, very complicated, a lot of investment, very end game, not worth it based on other champions we might have out there. Then we're gonna go to Tristan. Honestly, I don't think you should touch the red one or the blue one with already everything we have here. But the green one, I'm gonna put him in S tier, definitely. And beyond K. Why? Because he, first of all, Penvid, if he can solo the dungeon, that's number one. Penvid, easy. He's also a great damage dealer. And there's a lot of stages in Hell where you have to 3-star the dungeon when you need green units. And he's just gonna make it easy for you. And not even that, it's like there's plenty of dungeons I have used him. I'm not gonna say that he's better than Beidou, but remember, you get him for free. He comes for free. And you only need to have C1 on Tristan to make him, like, to have the full potential out of this champion. You don't need specifically skill ups. It will make him better like any other champion. But for me, the green Tristan, I love him. I built him. I still use him till today, 30 days after we launched this game. And like I told you, like Blue Morgan and green Tristan, and you basically solo Penvid 10. Like, it's as easy like that. So you may do it whatever you want with it. Honestly, you got him for free, you built him, you're gonna keep him forever. Same as Red Morgan, they are just great heroes together. Then we go to Beidou. Well, without any doubt, Mr. Blue Beidou, we're gonna go into SS. I think everyone is using him in every single dungeon. Him, regardless if it's blue and he's going against green or whatsoever, I just think he's insanely good. Like it's especially his passive. It's especially his passives that's just make him so good, right? So overall, yeah, I just love this champion. Now, when it comes to the red and the green, I would put them in S. Yeah, I don't think they're as powerful as the blue one. Definitely Rosie and Cormac are better than the red and the green. Green is definitely the worst one out of the three. The red one, you can do a nice basically spell tree on the red one. The damage is there. It's powerful, right? It's all good. And the green one, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's all about the passive, right? And I don't know. I'm confident with my choices. Like, first you're gonna need to get the color of those weapons. And then you get him in blue, and to be quite honest, blue is more than enough. I got him in red, and I'm like, I don't want to build it. I don't think there's a need to build it. So yeah, that's gonna be about Beidou. Then we're gonna go to Sigrun. First of all, the blue one, I don't recommend to build it. Again, ultra mega super niche, or not even ever used. The red one, I'm gonna put her in B, simply because one, okay, you might use her for the dragon as a mark team, but you really not really gonna do it. It's even, I think, harder to build than the damage team. And then a lot of people just use her for her S3 AoE damage. But they're just better. Like, I get it. Like, she might be okay. We're gonna put her in A. And then the green one, I think the green one is more or less similar. Similar to. Ah, no, I actually screwed up. No, I screwed up. So the blue one gonna go into B very last. The green will go into don't build. And the red one goes into A. Because PvP, she's very good and annoying. And then PvE, yes, you can use her for her AoE. The damage, it's not insane. You're still gonna build her. Basically, she's easy to build and she does the damage. But in terms of damage, they're just better, right? So that, I mean, for me, that's her spot here, basically. Then we're gonna go to Jillian. I think, if I'm not mistaken, every single Jillian will go into SS tier. I just want to remind my head. Yeah. Every single one of Jillian's will go into SS. Easily, like, okay, the green one for me goes here. And then the red one with the blue one. Something like that. Yeah. We all get her in red, which is completely broken. Honestly, her red one is just so strong. Her blue one is amazing because she might have a AoE heal. And the green one, you're still gonna use her for S2. And the only difference between the blue and the red is that she's green. But her S2 is basically heal, reduce the attack bar, and basically that's it. And if I'm not mistaken, the heal is a bit stronger than red. Yeah, okay, let's put it like that. Yeah, let's put it like that. Yeah, for me it's like that. Okay. Then we're gonna go to Cloudas, right? Cloudas or Claudius? No, sorry, not at all. Then we're gonna go to Clarison. So Clarison, you get her in red. What do I think about Clarison? She has a potential to do insanely good damage. You're gonna need a lot of investment in her. But I truly believe Cormac is better. So I'm gonna put all of them definitely here in S. Right? Yes. The red one for sure, and this one here together with the blue one. Yeah? Because she also has very similar passive to Vera when she's gonna attack different champions multiple times, apply more and more attacks and stuff like that. And basically her S2 becomes super strong with her C3. So overall, she has the potential in terms of damage. There is better, like that's the reality of the thing. But she is a good damage dealer. You cannot take it from her. Ain. So first of all, we get the blue one. I think I'll get super much hate for it. But I just don't think Ain is worth it in any single way or possible. This is the same one across everywhere. Yeah. No, I mean, for me, super niche. I'm gonna put her in B. Okay, you're gonna tell me her counter attack is amazing, etc., etc. Like, you're not really gonna use her in any. Like, even a lot of people told me, oh, she's gonna be crucial to clear hell stage 3 stars. Not really. No, no, not at all. Just like, no. For me, Ain, mostly PvP champion. And then I don't know. I don't think she's that good. No, like, I get it, she's gonna put the counter attack on you from the start of the battle. Again, it's PvP mostly. Who cares if she's gonna do it in the Red Dragon or whatever other dungeon, basically. So for me, Ain, B, definitively. Then that's her name, Cloudas, right? Yes, Cloudas, the red one. She has her spot in S here. She's very good champion, basically same attack bar manipulation, controlling the boss, controlling champions, Forbidden Dungeon, Taras, Green Dragon, and so on and so on. In terms of the green one and the blue, I'm confident to say that it still needs to be tested. I don't think I ever heard or saw anything. It's kind of the same, I would say. No, the wind one is a bit different. Yeah, I would say to be tested. Again, to be quite honest, how she works with her passives and everything, you kind of just want the red one, and you kind of just want to build the red one. She's not really a damage dealer, she's more a control unit. But I just don't feel confident enough in terms of blue and green to say anything. So I will say not tested. Same when it comes to Florentius. I will Sergius. Fucking hell. I would say that the red one needs to get tested, right? He's like a speed boost. Like the red one, I don't like it. Screw it. The red one on paper, I don't like it at all. And then also the blue one needs to be tested for me to be more, so I can be more confident in telling you if it's good or not. However, the green one for me is A at best. Very few dungeons where I see him that you actually need to use him. It's gonna be mostly Tarask and maybe the green dungeon and some forbidden stages. Like it's gonna be the same level as, yeah, it's gonna be more or less here. That's how I see it. In terms of utility and everything, that's how I see him. And I mean, he's free, technically speaking. You just need to accumulate the points in the arena or our clan. Florentus, Mr. Florentius, Mr. S2, and you can die, right? Mr. Florentius. Yeah, we get him in fire, right? I would say very niche, and I would say don't build the other ones. Honestly, I just... Okay, screw it. Let's put him to be tested. I just feel that it's not gonna be good. I don't know why. I don't like him, but then fair enough. I didn't see anyone playing him. It's just when reading his skills, I'm just trying to understand where would you even put him. Silence, you don't care. His S2, yes, Aldri, but that's pretty much it. And then everything else, not really worth it. Not really worth it. Then we're gonna go to Merlin. Same as here. So the blue one gonna be here. This is like the Holy Trinity. The red one for me, the blue one is better than the red one. That's for sure. So it's gonna go here. The green one is silence. It's a lot of PvP. Yeah, I would. Do you want to build the red one? Maybe for the silence. I'm gonna put him in B. You let me know what do you think, but the silence 50%, maybe PvP. Not really. It's the same as Ain. I just don't think I would ever actually want to build him. And those one we already rated. But yeah, guys, this is my tier list for the official launch based on everyone's feedback, based on how we use, what we use in different dungeons, etc. Let me know what do you think. Again, in the last tier list I did, a lot of you disagree with a lot of my picks. Let's see this time if you agree or disagree. But this time I'm pretty confident of my choices. So let's see what do you think. I will see you in the next video, guys. I hope you enjoy. See you. Ciao.